So this is the first episode of Far From Perfect. Let me just start by saying that despite anything bad I say about this game, I actually do like the game. I've got to level 25 with my main character, I put in a lot of hours in the last month, so I will carry on playing this, so just keep that in mind when I start saying bad things about the game. During its early life, I had a bit of a problem with the social aspect of Destiny. The lack of public chat options or matchmaking for raids and other events really bothered me. The game kind of just sits there and laughs at you for not having any friends to play with. The highest level raids, as they call them, gift the best gear for your party, but you need to have between sort of 4 to 6 people to actually successfully get through it. You cannot do it with one person, you cannot do it with 2, you can barely do it with 3. So I personally picked up the game. There's been a few external changes to the matchmaking system. Nothing but done by Bungie, but it's all sort of community-based stuff. People building fire teams on blog forums, people setting up teams to go raiding with, which is quite nice. It's really, really nice, and you can even go by your platform. So Xbox, Xbox One, PS4, any of that stuff. It's sad, but the aspect I really do like about this game are the random interactions you can have with people within like the hub world and within the main world. Using the D-pad, you can gesture like wave, sit down, dance, point, all that sort of stuff. Very, very fun, very kind of entertaining, especially when somebody's seems to not be paying attention and you just start dancing in front of them and they come back on and there's just some random robot dude dancing in front of them. It's very strange, but as I said, quite sad that I enjoy that, but I do. Okay, so I had some bad stuff to say, but also had some good stuff to say about the social aspect of this game. This is going to be quite difficult for me to do, because I'm going to try not get super angry about this. And I've been playing a lot of the PvP. Bear in mind that the game, for a lot of the progression, requires you to do PvP-based bounties. So I'm level 25, I have some good gear, got some legendary guns, got some pretty decent armor and everything. Leveled up a bit, so I've got various abilities. It's horribly, horribly unbalanced. As my level 25, every time I start playing, there are people who are 29, 28, 30, 31, 32, with exotic armor, weapons, and at that point, where you have that level gear from people who've been playing since day one, you can one-shot people. You can pretty much just annihilate everyone. I spent the entire game, I got very few kills, and every time I spawned, I ran, I kind of turned a corner, get killed. I didn't find that entertaining, like in the slightest, and it gets frustrating where a lot of your progression is based on winning or getting kills in the PvP. But you can't get the kills if people are just taking you out as soon as you sort of spawn. I mean, the Warlock and Titan are fine. They're fairly balanced. I mean, the Warlock is overpowered, but what do you expect from the kind of squishy mage character, the one that fires giant exploding balls of death? The Titan's the defensive class. You can do your ground pound thing, which takes out large groups of people in certain areas. But the Hunter, for the love of God, the Hunter is just destructive. You have the Blade Dancer subclass, which involves you running around with a knife, but with the knife, all you do is just bounce between people. You're pretty much invincible. Like, you move so quickly and you blink so quickly, people can't shoot you. I mean, they can, but you have to be very, very good or very, very fast to do it. And that's just really, really painful. So you come around the corner, you see a guy, you start shooting him, you realise that nothing's going to happen, and he just blinks in front of you, stabs you in the face, and you're dead. And your kill streak's gone, and yeah, didn't get the kill. The other thing is, the other class is they have the Golden Gun, which is a fire pistol that basically one-shots you. There's been multiple times where I've been playing Control, which is a kind of domination thing where you've got the 3 points to capture. I've been sat on the point, just about to capture it, and then boom, just disappear. Big flaming mess of Titan left on the ground. I don't get angry at games, but this gets to me. I actually wanted to spit bile onto the floor. I was getting so angry about how unfair it was. I'm not saying I'm sort of getting hacked by these people or that there's lag or anything like that. I'm by no means a terrible player, but I'm not some sort of like major league gamer and I'm like, yeah, I gotta win. But when I can be outclassed by the people who've been playing the game for slightly longer than I have, who just have better gear, I find that annoying. If they had found a way to balance it, where you had certain loadouts for your characters, I reckon that would have worked a lot better for everyone. Tell you what, that is one thing that really annoys me about that, but there is more things that have pissed me off about the PvP. The random number generator is one of the worst things in this game. It's so random that you can just be a dude sat in the corner, jumping up and down, and you can get an exotic weapon. But the guy who gets a sort of 12 kills and no deaths, or someone got 24 kills and no deaths, gets nothing. Gets absolutely nothing. Or gets something really crap, something that's not worth anything, wasn't even worth playing the game for. Either they should actually balance out who gets the gear, depending on how well you've done, or they should just scrap it completely. That is just my opinion. It's so unfair. It's frustrating. I hate it. And the only reason why I play it is for the bounties, so that I can progress my character, so I can continue with the game. But honestly, I don't have any fun playing the PvP. If they balance it a little bit more, made it more like the Halo or even Call of Duty gameplay, where you have sort of like build classes, so you can have like a defender, you can have like someone with rockets, have someone with a machine gun, anything like that, to sort of balance it between the levels would be much better. Because I get it's trying to go for the whole MMO approach thing of going for the big PvP battles like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars and stuff like that, which is based on things. But those games block off a lot of the PvP until you hit a specific level. When you hit that specific level and you have that gear anyway, then you can play. Whereas this, you can enter at level 4. And at that point, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to deal with some of these people. Yeah, you can get lucky, you can take them out and your gun does normal damage. But a sort of green pulse rifle against an exotic shotgun or an exotic sniper rifle, you're dead. You're going to die instantly. Just boom, headshot, done, finished, finito, whatever. It just annoys me because the rest of the game is so good. The rest of the game is very balanced. But just the PvP is horrible to play sometimes. And if it wasn't essential for a lot of the progression, as I said, I wouldn't play it. Just grates on final nerve. That's it. So yeah, that's the PvP, and that's just my take on it. So I'm going to move on to the story now. Alright, I'm just going to put out a spoiler warning here, because I'm going to start talking about the story. And obviously, I'm not going to hold back on any of the aspects of it. I'm just going to get through this, and again, try not to get too angry about this. But actually, no, anger's the wrong word. Disappointed is probably closer to the truth. Okay, so people complain that Call of Duty and Gears of War have really bad or bland stories. But at least they had a story. And yeah, there's story missions in this game. But there's so little information. They're pretty much just, there is darkness, the darkness is bad, go kill the darkness. It's just, there's just nothing there. There's no content. So it's the first installment of the series, but honestly, they had a chance to build a really engaging story and universe for me. But the part that confused me the most, and this is kind of towards the end of the game, is you end up going out into the Reef, which is beyond Venus and Mars and stuff. And you meet some Awoken, and they help you get into the Black Garden to finish off the Vex sort of Heart of Darkness. But they approach you with such hostility, but there was no explanation of why they were so hostile. They seem to just want to kill you or just throw you out or anything. But the Guardians are meant to be like the good guys, the guys that are protecting the galaxy from all the darkness stuff. And then for some reason they have Fallen, who are the first things you come across. There's just 2 Fallen on the Queen's throne. So from what I originally established in the game, the Fallen were bad. They were part of the darkness, or just as bad as the darkness. But for some reason, these people who hate the darkness have them as pets. That doesn't make any sense to me. But also, a couple of the missions on like the Venus and Mars and everything else, the Vex are fighting the Hive, and the Hive are fighting the Fallen, and the Fallen are fighting the Vex, and it doesn't make any sense, because they kind of explain it as the fact that they're all from the darkness, they're all part of the bad guys, but they're fighting each other. So there's no unity with the bad guys, but they don't explain that. They just go, oh yeah, they're just fighting each other, just deal with it, just run through the center, it's fine. But in the Dark Below DLC that I just recently got, the Fallen are referred to as scavengers. So that kind of gives me like a pirate vibe. So maybe they're not part of the darkness, but it never straight up tells you that. It doesn't tell you anything. And like the Cabal are really cool, but they don't tell you who they are. All they really mention are they are a race that just are 800 pound guys in huge armor that can just kill and destroy planets just for being in the way. But they're on Mars fighting the Vex. What I don't get is why they're fighting the Vex. Why don't they just go away from the planet and then blow up Mars if they haven't got that much of a problem with just destroying planets? And never, again, it's one of these things, there's probably a good reason for it, but it never explains it in the game. You just expect to just go along with it. And before you start saying it, I'm very aware that the Grimoire stuff that you unlock through playing the game gives you information on the enemies and the universe and the lore of the world. But that's good and everything. That should be auxiliary. But there really should be a lot of it woven into the story. Stuff needs to be explained. Or at least just shown to you. I mean, you can have like a fallen guy being like ripped apart by a hive, and then sort of at that point you kind of realize that they're definitely not friends, rather than just that they happen to be in the same place fighting each other. I don't know, honestly. I don't know enough about the backstory at this point to really talk about this and sort of keep going on about it. But one of the weirdest points was towards the end, was when you killed the Black Heart in the garden. The Exo Lady gives you her rifle and tells you that the darkness is still out there. And I was just like, what? Because as far as I'd been told, taking out the Black Heart of the Vex would end the darkness in our galaxy. So then I was just like, what? What's going on? And apparently it didn't matter at all. I mean, healing the Traveler, but that was kind of gonna happen anyway. That was something that... Okay. It's weird to me that they put so much effort into creating this world. Like the Traveler, the Speaker, the Ghosts, the Guardians. But they just don't talk about it. Like the Exo Lady who gives you her rifle. When you meet her, originally, she tells you that she wasn't created in light. So what the hell does that mean? I thought all the races at this point, like humans and all that sort of stuff that exist now, were created from the light of the Traveler when it came down and helped build the world, because obviously there's nobody there that's been alive for hundreds of years now. So where was she built? Are there other races in the galaxy? Are there other communities other than Earth? Or maybe outside of the galaxy, outside of the solar system, where the darkness is coming from? There's people fighting it out there that aren't Guardians, that aren't built from the Traveler's light. But again, the game doesn't explain any of this, and even the little bits of the Grimoire that I've actually read now gives you so little information on what you're actually trying to do. I don't understand, basically. I will carry on playing it, because as the DLC's coming out, it does seem to be divulging a little bit more information. And from that, I am actually getting a sort of bigger picture on the world, and I'm kind of enjoying it now, finally. Well, let's just see if that keeps up, yeah? Alright, so gameplay. Okay, so the gameplay is solid. Alright, what do you want? You shoot things, and things die. The super moves you get to use are great fun, and suitably epic, so you can sort of jump, boom, big explosion, everyone's dead. And the classes and subclasses work really well in co-op play. I mean, for my Titan, I play PvP as the Striker, which is the sort of fast-running, area of effect damage dealer. Whereas in the co-op with my friends, I play as the Defender. Because that's the one that allows me to bring out a shield. It allows me to punch things, giving myself a shield, making me tougher, and buffing the rest of the team, which is a very good thing to do in the co-op. I wasn't expecting any less, honestly, from the people who created Halo and Call of Duty respectively. It plays exactly as you'd expect a hybrid of the two to play. What is a joke, as I mentioned it before, is the randomness of the loot drops. They've said they fixed it, in giant quotation marks, but the randomness of it is still broken to all hell. And like we'll do a strike. We'll do one of these 3-player missions. I will do 3 times as many kills as everyone else as the Titan because I'm getting stuck in right in the center. I'll pick people up. I'll probably have the best score out of everyone. I won't get anything. The guy who was trying to do the bounty to not die during a strike, who stayed back and didn't get involved for the entire thing, somehow gets some of the best gear. I don't find that fair. It should be based on not on the kills you get, but on your contribution to the party. Which was good in Guild Wars 2 when I played it. You were based, the XP and your loot drops were based on your contribution to the amount of damage and the amount of assists that you did. You didn't even need to kill. If you just kind of sat there and healed people and buffed people, you still got loot. You still got some good loot. That's what they should have done with this. If I'm running around and I pick people up multiple times, if I'm protecting them with my bubble shield, if I'm taking a lot of the fire off people, acting as a distraction, I should get at least another piece of gear. It doesn't have to be any better than anyone else's, but just some additional stuff would be nice in recognition of the fact that I actually did more than just play the game. I actually played as a team. So they've added some additional stuff now. So they got the patrols and the bounties and everything. They got the strikes. They got daily strikes at a higher level. So you got higher level stuff that you can do now, so that you can carry on playing and you can kind of grind through these for either better gear, more additional stuff, so you can level your guy up, which for the coming expansions is going to be fantastic. So yeah, the gameplay's fine. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. It does the job, and it's balanced. I mean, the off PvP gameplay is very balanced. Playing with 3 people, for instance, you have a defender Titan, you have a gunslinger hunter with the golden gun that can pretty much insta-kill some of the higher level boss monsters, and you have a warlock for the area effect stuff. So the warlock takes care of all the little dudes, the hunter takes care of the big guys, and the defender keeps everyone alive. That works really well. Trying to run that in PvP just doesn't work. So I'm not going to go on anymore, because I'm going to end up going back into the PvP stuff, but we already covered that. So basically, just in conclusion, it's a great game, but from launch it suffered from overambition and horrible imbalance issues. But that comes with a lot of MMO sort of games. So yeah, you're welcome to shout at me and tell me how I'm wrong, how I'm a massive noob, how I have no right playing the PvP if I think it's that bad. But honestly, you can say whatever you want. I said at the beginning, I actually really enjoy Destiny. And the reason for these videos is for me to discuss what went wrong, how I think that they can be fixed, or what they should have done when the game came out. So yeah, I'm going off to play Destiny now. So you're welcome to come join my fire team. Bureau 44 on the Bungie.net and on the app as well. So come join us, come raid with us, we'll have a good time. Cheers guys, have a good one. Game on.
contact abandoned. Let them know the Archon Priest is dead.
One more phone call.